Tēnā koutou, good afternoon, haere mai, and welcome to this One News special. The 2019 so-called Wellbeing Budget has just been published. For the next 2 hours, we will give you the detail, the analysis and reaction. Shortly, Finance Minister Grant Robertson will address Parliament. These are live shots of the Speaker Trevor Mallard speaking at the moment. We will bring you the Finance Minister's address live. But first, a reminder. This budget has been teased as a world first. A fiscal management and spending plan which considers more than just money. The Labour-led coalition government has called this the Wellbeing Budget, and its spending decisions have been partially dictated by the impact on various wellbeing measures. For the last 3.5 hours, economists, journalists and analysts have been inside a secure lock-up at the Treasury in Wellington. No one has been allowed out, given the potential impact on markets if information were to be released early. The One News political editor, Jessica Much-Mackay, has been in the lockup and has just come out. Tēnā koe, Jess. How is this budget different?
Yeah, we just had to do a slow jog from the budget lockup this time to get here to be able to give you guys the latest on all of this. It did feel different.
Most places at most times of the year.
That is the Finance Minister, Grant Robertson, delivering his 2019 Wellbeing Budget address to Parliament. We will bring you more of his comments and interview the Finance Minister live over the next 2 hours. We'll also hear from the Leader of the Opposition, Simon Bridges, when he makes his rebuttal in a short time. We just want to bring you up to date with some of the most significant investments the government is making in this year's budget. Keep in mind, these investments directly affect the lives of New Zealanders. At the very top there, perhaps unsurprising for most analysts, an enormous injection of funding into the mental health sector, $1.9 billion. As well as that, we have benefits being linked to wage increases. That'll cost about $530 million. Oranga Tamariki will receive $1.1 billion. An investment of $1 billion will go into Kiwi Rail, and an investment of $1.2 billion over the next 10 years will be made in New Zealand schools and classrooms. Over the next 2 hours, we will have in-depth analysis of what all this means for you, what it means for the New Zealand economy. We will hear from an independent economist, Cameron Bagri, to get his thoughts on New Zealand's fiscal outlook. Stay with us. Hei aku ane. We'll see you in a few minutes. No mai, haere mai, welcome back to this One News 2019 Wellbeing Budget Special. We will be getting some numbers in just a moment as to New Zealand's fiscal outlook and speaking with independent economist Cameron Bagri from Bagri Economics. He's been in the lockup at Treasury over the last 3.5 hours alongside various journalists and analysts who've been picking over the detail in this year's budget. This afternoon, though, we are joined in the studio by Debbie Ngarewa-Paka. She's an iwi leader from South Taranaki, and Ben Thomas, a former political staffer and current affairs executive at Excelsior. We haven't had much detail yet, guys. We've only had 10 or 15 minutes to go over what has been released so far. Debbie, I will start with you. What are your first impressions?
Well, first of all, it's good to...
Finance spokesperson Amy Adams.
You're
just
welcome.
So you know how things are going to run over the next hour and a half or so. We've just had the comments from Finance Minister Grant Robertson at Parliament. We are expecting a rebuttal from National Leader Simon Bridges. We will speak with him on the program as well. We will continue our analysis of the 2019 budget over the next couple of hours. Stay with us. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Thanks so much for that, Simon. We really appreciate it. One News presenter Simon Dallow. We are expecting comments from Simon Bridges, the Leader of the Opposition. He will be making his rebuttal to Parliament in the next couple of minutes. Stay with us. A few moments ago, the National Leader and Leader of the Opposition, Simon Bridges, made his rebuttal in Parliament. Here are his comments.
I move that all the words after that be omitted and the following substituted. This House has no confidence in this bungling and incompetent government because they are overseeing a slowing economy, declining job creation, a rising cost of living, and they are failing to deliver on their promises to New Zealanders.
I know for many people this will all be a little bit beltway, but Ben Thomas, some amazing events over the last couple of days. How do you think Grant Robertson has handled, whatever you want to call it, the hack, the leak, the Googling?
the search bar terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Gabrielle McCloof led Robertson down the garden path. The Treasury Secretary badly let down his Finance Minister.
That will make us an aspirational, achieving society in the long term.
All right, thank you for your time. Ag leader David Seymour. As well as the $1.9 billion being invested in the mental health sector, the government has pledged $1.1 billion towards child wellbeing. It's directed to protect vulnerable children. A big part of that is that no school donations will now be required at schools that are between 1 and 7 on the decile ranking system. There's, of course, the $320 million that has already been announced prior to today's budget that is being directed towards domestic violence prevention. Stay with us. We will sum up what we understand from the 2019 wellbeing budget after the break. Kia ora koutou, welcome back to this One News 2019 Wellbeing Budget Special. Let's have a quick look at the major spending priorities for this government that have been announced. They've announced $1.9 billion in funding for the mental health sector. Benefits will be linked to wage increases at a cost of about $530 million. That'll have an impact to people who receive a core benefit of about $10 to $17 a week. Oranga Tamariki will receive $1.1 billion. Kiwi Rail will receive $1 billion for maintenance and investment purposes. New schools and classrooms around New Zealand will receive $1.2 billion. However, there is nothing in today's package with the ongoing industrial dispute between teachers at both primary and secondary levels and the government. Ben Thomas and Debbie Ngārewa-Paka, our time is almost up, but let's just get your general thoughts on today's budget. How do you think the wellbeing budget will be remembered, Ben?
Getting spent in practice. And, you know, look, I think we can all hope for the best.
Kia ora kōrua. Really appreciate your time and analysis this afternoon. Debbie Ngārewa-Paka and Ben Thomas. Don't forget, we will continue our analysis throughout the day on the One News Now website. That's onenewsnow.co.nz. The team at One News at 6 will have more. We'll continue the coverage on Q&A, 9:30 Monday nights. You know you love it. Te Karere is up next. I'm Jack Tame. Thanks for joining us for this year's Wellbeing Budget Special. Hei kō nei rā.